Usually, when I'm reviewing a Bond film, I either do it before or after I've watched it, but as you might be able to hear in the background, let's have a look. 25 minutes ago, I'm still watching Spectre. Is that disrespecting Spectre? Maybe. I have wanted to do a live commentary of a film, which I'll probably do with OHMSS, where I guess I'll do it like the Pierce Brosnan chat, where we're watching him. Spectre has the same director, has much the same crew behind it, musically and acting wise, and I had high hopes for Spectre. I thought if Sam Neill's coming back, we've got another great film. Starts off reasonably well, the Dawn of the Day of the Dead is all well and dandy, it's trying to be stylish, the music is a rehash of the Skyfall soundtrack, and you're thinking, well, okay, early days. And it's another long film. Skyfall was 2 hours 17, this film's 2 hours and 22. So at the moment, this is the longest Bond film until we get to see No Time to Die. The film looks off. There's something about the setting, the colour. Maybe, I don't think it's my TV, and it's my glasses, although my glasses are always smudged at the moment. It's almost like the makers have gotten too damn cocky. Skyfall was a smash hit financially and everywhere else. I mean, I think it was the first Bond film to win an Oscar since Thunderball. It won, I don't think a Bond film has won an Oscar, has it? I think it was the first Bond film nominated for Oscar since Thunderball. Somebody can correct me. I know I've got my facts wrong, but either way, it was fairly big. And it drags. We get to know not Piss Gloria atop that mountain, and I just tuned out. And you got the whole MI5 MI6 merger with this idiot C with Andrew Scott. And if you like Andrew Scott, fair enough. If you are Andrew Scott, fair enough. But he seems to have one setting as an actor. Same facial expression, whether he's playing Moriarty or anything. If he's playing a bad guy, it's always the same. And it's just like, he's not a very likeable character in the film, and that's the idea of it. And indeed, the only bit that still makes me chuckle was when M goes, well, we know what the C stands for. Here it comes now, actually. I thought I missed it. I tuned out. They demolish MI6 headquarters, so one assumes in No Time to Die it's a fresh HQ, but no Bond. It's a fresh build. MI6 has been rebuilt for budget reasons. So I have no idea. It's a pastiche. Hinks is basically a combination of Jaws and something else, and the Aston Martin DB10 is hideously underused. I do like the fact that you see other Astons in the Q branch, so you know Bond's not the only chap who gets a car. Although the others are DB9s, if I remember rightly. Recommend looking up on YouTube Timothy Dalton, no, Roger Moore in Spectre, I think it is. It's rather well done. Now, if Brosnan should have done Casino Royale, there's a small debate. Could he have carried on to Skyfall? By the time Skyfall came out 2012, well, let's say for argument's sake, Casino Royale was 2004 and Skyfall was 2006. It could have worked as a last Bond film. It could have worked. I mean, Judi Dench's M dies still. Bond's cradling her. End of Brosnan and Neill, perfect. Instead, Spectre could have been 20 minutes shorter. There's good bits, but mostly it feels off. I mean, the plot is almost ripped off from Austin Powers Goldmember. Why was it too much to expect that Bond is not related to Blofeld? Why does Bond have to be related to Blofeld? Seriously. I mean, they've sort of taken some bits from the short story of Octopus when Major Smythe... That was that chap he killed. I forgot his name. Well, Oberhauser, wasn't it? And Bond just goes out there because I think Oberhauser was his teacher as far as climbing went when he was younger. Fair enough. But why does Oberhauser have to suddenly become both of their stepfathers? And it literally is like Austin Powers. I mean, even watching Goldmember back in 2004, I was like, seriously? Dr. Evil and Austin Powers were actually related? Spectre is a wasted opportunity like Quantum of Solace. It's better than Quantum of Solace, but musically, it could have been much more. Thomas Newman, I didn't mind his Skyfall score, and yet from the off, Spectre is derivative of Skyfall. There's sections of like Granborough Road and Shanghai Drive, and I think it's She's Mine, or is it Kill Them First? And the Bond theme's there, but it's not. He could have done an entirely fresh sounding score, which I'm not sure. I'm not sure about what Hans Zimmer's going to do. I'm not optimistic for No Time to Die soundtrack. Christoph Waltz is wasted. I thought when Christoph Waltz was cast, we're going to get something else. I think he's not helped by the script and story. If he's in No Time to Die, which I think he is, hopefully he's got a bit more. It'll work. I don't know. Lee Seydoux, capable actress, looks good in that dress walking up the aisle, but I can't connect with Madeline. And I have a feeling she's going to die in No Time to Die. And that's the thing. No Time to Die's already got me apprehensive in the trailer when Bond, she says something to him, Bond goes, "We all have our secrets." How many Bond films do we have to have where Bond has secrets? People bemoaned George Lazenby's Bond for having issues. I think they did anyway, at least I'm sure somebody said that to me. Timothy Dalton's Bond had issues, especially in Licence to Kill when his mate's been fed to a shark. Brosnan's Bond kind of had issues in GoldenEye, World Is Not Enough, Die Another Day, but they were done in a way that he didn't look like a sulky teenager. I had respect for Daniel Craig before these films, but he seems to be determined to make us all suffer. This is meant to be his last film, No Time to Die, and he's thinking, well, what if I want to do one more? No, because the Bond films now have been spaced apart so much because of financial and licensing and whatever else has been the reason for it, that since 2006 we've had 5 Bond films, whereas in the old days, 14-year period would have at least... Let's see, 2, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 8 films maybe, 7 films. And we would have had a different Bond by now. And the trouble is Craig is now 14 years older. So he's going to look, it's noticeable sometimes with that. It was with Roger Moore, God bless him. So, Henry Cavill turned 37 this week. I've not really seen Henry Cavill in anything. But I think I'm reached a point where I'll take anyone. I long wanted Michael Fassbender. Fassbender, as far as I know, has never been named seriously in, the candidate list. There's been some names floating around, like the bloke who plays Poldark. No, why? What's his only credit? So why are we saying that? Oh, he got his shirt off in Poldark. And that seems to be some people's criteria. I mean, I think we saw all of the Bonds shirtless in their time. I think Dalton was in Licence to Kill. Brosnan was a few times, and Craig has. It's not a requisite. Oh, hang on. Oh, Andrew Scott's just falling out of the window. Well, we know what the C stands for. There was a chuckle in the cinema. I've only seen this film, this is my 3rd time watching it. And the first 2 times, I gave Spectre 8 out of 10. So, I'm not Barry Norman or Roger Ebert. I'm not even drunk doing this review, I sound like it. So I just realised that Tanner's turned up wearing a leather jacket. It doesn't suit him. Madeline. I mean, if you chaps are after it, I keep saying you chaps. I'm just, one of these days, you never know. I'm going to do a countdown of my favourite Bond actors in order. So I was going to do it individually, but I think we'll just do it as one whole video. Be a long video, probably a good half an hour anyway. And if my phone can take it, it might do. It doesn't have a time limit on it at the moment. will do a live commentary for a film. I'm tempted to do over HMSS. The only trouble is it's sitting there for 2 hours and a bit holding my phone. I mean, it's been quite hot today. I've not really coped with sitting with my laptop, for instance. And I'm on the first floor flat, so the heat tends... I haven't used the central heating in this flat properly for over a year, because even in the winter the heat has come up from downstairs, so we'll see. This technically then is my last James Bond film review. The fact I've managed to watch all of the 20 odd films in, we'll say, a 2-week period is utterly incredible. I wouldn't have done it in lockdown, and one reason why I haven't done a Bond-a-thon since 2005, so... There's that. Now my Bond walk, I say mine, I was going to be one of 3 guides doing it, was going to start off at Trafalgar Square, take people up through Horse Guards facing the Ministry of Defence, look over to where Daniel Craig stood on the rooftop for Skyfall, the old War Office, which is now being turned into hotels. Let people take a photo in the middle of Whitehall past the cenotaph where Craig ran up. Go all the way down to Vauxhall Lambeth Bridge and go up Lambeth Bridge so that people could see MI6. And Lambeth Bridge, on the end of it, is MI5 HQ. And then take them up the Lambeth side of the Thames. Lambeth, up the Albert Embankment to Westminster Bridge, where you see Brosnan go into the station for dead agents, wherever it is. Almost like the old films, Craig's Bond's been able to shoot down Blofeld's helicopter by sheer chance. Waltz has the good sense to at least let Blofeld look scared as they crash onto Westminster Bridge. And that bridge has taken a lot of punishment in its life and manages to hold up to this helicopter. No Time to Die is slightly concerning in its running time. I want to say it's 2 hours 40, maybe even 3 hours, I can't be right. If the pacing is right, if the story is right, if the acting is as good as it gets for a Bond film, if the soundtrack is that and more, then fine. You don't notice it. Like Skyfall, you don't feel it's almost 2.5 hours long. On Her Majesty's Secret Service was the longest Bond film until Casino Royale, at 2 hours 16. It's just a shame that Ray finds his second film as M is like this. But he has a lot to do in it. I think, he's had the most of any M in a while, probably. And it's kind of intriguing to me anyway, that the police seal off Westminster Bridge at either end in a matter of seconds. I mean, they're already there. Have they been pre-alerted to them that there's shit going down in London? I mean, they're by Westminster Tube Station, by the clock tower, and they're on the other end down by County Hall in the Park Plot and St Thomas's Hospital. Be intriguing to read up about how they made this scene. I mean, presumably it was middle of the night when there's no traffic. they got permission from the Met Police and whatever to do what they had to do. Did they? I can't imagine they actually, set up a helicopter or a helicopter mock-up to burn. I mean, when for a Jackie Chan film a couple of years ago, I can't remember what it's called now, The Foreigner, maybe, they blew up a bus on Lambeth Bridge. And they properly blew it up, there was flames and everything, and the Met Police virtually collapsed under the rate of 999 calls. It freaked people out. I mean, I think it came in the region of the Westminster Bridge terrorist attack, so nerves were already finally stretched, and also for some people they would have remembered the image of the bus that blew up on July 7th, 2005. I worked with somebody who actually saw that happen, and we were told never to ask him about it, which is fair enough. I can't imagine. So, Blofeld is left lying in the dirt of Westminster Bridge. Brave of him. There's the Park Plaza Hotel. We used to say it was known as the London Eyesore.
Under the Special Measures Act 2001, and detaining him on behalf of Her Majesty's Government.
And then we got told not to because apparently there were guests of that hotel on our buses, and they were going into the hotel saying, do you know that big bus that you say it's the most, it used to be known as the Pigeon Hotel and the London Eyesore, and the hotel went, fuck this, and got in touch with management and said, this is happening, we got told not to because the hotel sells our tickets. I mean, I'd given up beforehand. When you did the job as long as I did, even a year, you're sort of like, hang on, Horse Guards Parade is used on the film, I couldn't mention that. Yeah, so at the end, if you are watching Spectre anytime soon, some rather brief shots of a deserted Whitehall and Q branch from the looks of it. Where's my remote control? Oh, there it is. There's Bond. So, at the end of the film, Bond and Madeline drive off in Aston Martin DB5 that Q has magically rebuilt in the running time of this movie, down an abandoned Whitehall to the Bond theme. Oh, look at that, the credits. Hang on. Credits came at 2 hours 15 and the film's 2 hours 22. Well, anyway, chaps, that's the definite end of it now. James Bond will return in No Time to Die, November, hopefully. So Hilly Bray, OBE, DFC, DFM, ABC, ITV and Bar will return at some point. Once again, hop over to the Bond forum. I seem to be the only person with one or two others keeping it going at the moment. That's not a facetious, egotistical comment, but my post count has managed to jump up 60 in the past couple of weeks, and I know that. I mean, I know there's things going on in the world more important than the Bond forum, but it'd be nice to have a few. It will never be like the old MI6 forum, but you never know, eh? So as I say, it's getting dark now, or darkish. That was Spectre. That was my Bond Athon. Thanks awfully, chaps and ladies, and keep it real, hey.